your daddy.
Hats off to you, lady. Can I please? Good job. We'll see you in the hereafter. Can I please? Viva Austin, Texas!
Big Daddy G Show. Big Daddy G Show. It's the Big Daddy G Show. Now type it in, take it in. Where do I begin? He's really funny, and he's not really thin. It's the Big Daddy G Show. Big Daddy, it's the Big Daddy G Show.
Dude, you gotta try the queso with the taco meat, man. It's delicious.
Really? That's a book on how to make Mexican martinis. I've got the recipe right here. Y'all try that. Share it.
Big Daddy G Show, the Big Daddy G Show, the Big Daddy G Show.
Daddy's home.
Here's your daddy.
What happened? Are we on the air? Today we have a studio audience. Where's, oh, what? What's going on? Oh, we're live, guys. How y'all doing? This is Tyrone D. Smith filling in for the Big Daddy G. It's been kind of a weird week because normally I'm in the control room and I'm able to, you know, do my own thing, but G's had some health issues, and so he's in the hospital right now, and so I'm filling in for him, and yeah, so I just wanted to just have a couple things I want to talk about. So I have a little clip that we're going to show to basically update everyone on G's health, and it's just weird because he's basically brings a lot of good energy to the studio, and so it's just really weird not having him here. and but we're going to try our best to put on a great show for y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy it. So the first thing I wanted to say was the big film festival that's coming through is the Lake Travis Film Festival. That's going to be this Thursday. We had Kat Albert here last week, and it's the first time it's ever happening, and a friend of ours, Mike Blizzard, is going to be hosting one of the events for the feature film Cowboys. So if y'all want to check that out, you can get badges at laketravisfilmfestival.com. Yeah, Kat is amazing. She's putting on a great film festival, and she's really, putting a lot into the community, and it's going to be great. So check it out, laketravisfilmfestival.com. Go get your badge today. I will be there, and we're hoping G can be there too. The other thing is the second season of Kidding, season 2 is coming out. It's been out. I think they're on their 3rd episode, and it airs every Sunday evening on Showtime. And a friend of the show, Cole Allen, we love you, Cole. We're rooting for you. He gets to act with Jim Carrey every season now, so I'm a big supporter of Cole Allen, and yeah, it's amazing. So so that's that. That's one other thing. What else did I want to say? I'm really proud of our crew, just like coming together, whenever a bad situation comes up. We're a family here, and it's just really nice to see us come together through hard times and just to put on the show. We don't stop. We believe, and we hope that G will make his way here next week for Kevin Havron. I think that's mostly everything I had to say, but I wanted to play this clip for y'all just to give an update on G's health. So, Rob, could you roll that clip for me, please?
Hi, kids. This is Big Daddy G. I'm sorry I'm not going to be there this week for the show. I had a little problem, and the doctor decided it would be a better idea to check myself into the hospital so they can keep track of me. So, but I'm doing fine. Everything's working great. Just need to stay in here for observation for a few days. So, don't worry. Continue watching the show. I love you guys, and thank you for watching.
So this one is for G, everyone. So we hope you do better, brother, and this one's for you. Okay. All right, so we got that handled. So the next thing I want to bring up is we have this amazing band, Droplift, out of Austin, Texas. And yeah. And yeah, they're awesome. So basically we're going to interview each band member like we do normally on the show, and then they're going to have a little mini concert over here momentarily after the interviews. But the first person we're going to bring out is going to be Mr. Oh, well, actually, we have a commercial break. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not the one who normally does this, so. So we'll have a more to come break. It's just a 1-minute clip, and we'll be right back in 1 minute.
Dude, you can't be doing that while I'm drinking. Okay, sorry. Oh, hey, kids. Welcome to the Big Daddy G Show. We're on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on
Channel 16.
Or you can stream it
on thebigdaddyg.com. Adios.
Adios.
Adios. That was perfect. It's what we do.
Good enough.
Good enough.
90%. Still an A.
I-ho, what do you know? The Big Daddy G Show. The Big Daddy G Show.
I just want to do a quick shout out to Marla and Samantha, who made this awesome glass. See, check that out. 1 R. So Tyrone. You like that? Tyrone. See? That's my name. So thank you, Marla. I appreciate it. Thank you, Samantha. I see you right there. And shout out to them. And so now we're going to bring out the first band member of Droplift. So help us welcome Craig Cole, the drummer of the band. So how you doing, Craig?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So I know that one of the big things we brought up last time you were here is that you're visually impaired.
That's correct. Yeah.
And you're the drummer of the band. You know, how did you, get into drums? I know this one musician, a friend of mine, Rodzilla is his nickname. Mm-hmm. He's the drummer in Jackie Vanson's band.
I know them.
And he's also visually impaired.
Rodney Hyder, yes.
Yeah, he's amazing, and you're also an amazing drummer. How did you? Who bought you your first drum set?
I did. I worked hard growing up, pretty impoverished. So my first job, when I was 18 years old, my first paycheck, actually, I went to a pawn shop, and I found a very low-level, kit that was already beat up pretty bad, but I wanted to play drums since I knew what one was. And so I just came across it and I bought it and self-taught. I've been playing almost 20 years now. Wow. And it's just always been a passion of mine to play and perform and to share that passion with other people, music.
Oh yeah.
So it's been good.
And so how long have you been with Tony and Droplift?
Off and on for, I think my first gig with Tony was in 2015. At a place called Stomping Grounds South.
5 years, guys, 5 years.
So
nice.
Off and on, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So so that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to bring up, I had some notes here about you, and basically, there's a place here in Travis County. You brought this up before, that puts visually impaired people to work.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So it's the Travis Association for the Blind. It's through San Antonio Lighthouse for the Blind, and they, recruit people from Chris Cole, the blind school here in Austin, and give them opportunities to work in warehouse or production, things like that. Actually, it's funny you mentioned Rodney Hyder. He's my coworker.
Oh wow!
I've been knowing Rodney for I've been there 6 years.
Wow.
So I'm very familiar with him and his work, and very proud of him for stepping out and with Jackie. And but Austin Lighthouse is a place that employs blind and visually impaired individuals that are looking for work.
That's amazing.
So it's a good company, great company. They take care of us. So.
And how long have you been with them? Because you met Rodney there.
Yeah, I've been there. I started May of 2013.
Wow. And then 2 years later, with the Droplift band.
I was pursuing a band here in Austin, trying to find my fit and network and find local artists who wanted to commit to a regular playing schedule, and found Tony, so here we are.
So the one thing I was going to say is, so you bought your first set of drums. Why the drums? What got you into the drums? Because you could, fiddle with a guitar. You can do any other instrument.
Well, I actually am a guitar enthusiast, so to speak, because I enjoy playing, especially at 3 or 4 in the morning when you can't play drums loud. So, so that kind of forced me to pick up the guitar in some sense. But drums have always spoke to me in a sense because it's a tribal type of connection with everything that's going on. You just kind of lose your mind and you just get lost in the patterns and the overall hitting of something to produce different sounds and things like that. So it's really up to you. You are the instrument. When you sit behind drums, to me, it's like you become what you're playing, and you control the volume, so to speak, the hits and how you do those things. It's always intrigued me. I guess the best example I can give you is growing up, I was introduced to different styles of music. So with my grandparents, it was mainly country 24/7. With my dad, it was southern rock and classic rock. he would shake us out of bed to AC/DC or ZZ Top,
Nice.
and things like that. And if that didn't work, he got our big toe and yank us out of bed. But no, my brother and I actually got into more of the metal scene, kind of harder
nice.
rock, Metallica, Sabbath,
Yeah.
things like that. And so most drummers are probably ashamed to admit this, but Lars Ulrich is really underrated. And when I was growing up in the 80s, he was a drummer everybody wanted to be. And so he had some influence. And when I heard that sound that he had, I think that was the starting point of it all. I knew I wanted to play drums then.
Nice.
And I was probably a kid, like 5, 6 years old.
5, 6 years old, and you knew exactly what you wanted to do. Yeah, that's really cool. Is there any? Oh no, I was gonna ask, where are you originally from?
Abilene, Texas.
Abilene, Texas.
West Texas, yeah.
Nice. And so, how'd you make your way to Austin? Because that's kind of a big step.
So I worked for Dyess Air Force Base there.
Okay.
And it's kind of ironic because it's the same contracting company I'm for now that had a contract in West Texas with the Air Force Base. It's a government installation.
Okay.
So they had a government contract with Dyess Air Force Base there in West Texas. And I had been working there about 11 and a half years.
Okay.
And it was around the time of base closings and, there were shutdowns, things like that. So they laid us off and gave our job back to the military. And I knew I wanted to move out of Abilene. It was kind of a dead-end town at the time. It wasn't really, progressing in a way that I wanted it to. So I chose Austin for music and this warehouse job. And I chose other places as well. Sent resume out, but Austin called me first.
Nice.
Fast-tracked me. I came here. They hired me on the spot. So I've been here ever since.
Well, you're in the right place, man. Yeah, you're in the right place. And Austin is, a great place to start a band, get started and just start jamming out with friends and then, forming bands and, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. I mean, anywhere you go that has a variety, it's either a make or break it kind of thing because, it can be oversaturated, I think, sometimes with artists. When I first moved here, I got to be honest, I wasn't really impressed with the music scene. I didn't hear anything that really inspired me to want to create, my style of music. And but being optimistic as I am, I said, well, maybe I can bring something back here. Maybe I can create something new here.
Yeah.
And then I met Tony, and he had original music and these, songs
Tony's
already
awesome.
made, and it was just instantaneous. We kind of,
Clicked.
hit it off, and there we are. So.
Nice, man. That's really great. The one thing I was going to say is when you were, you listened to a drummer from the 1980s, who's your favorite drummer?
That's
And what band do they play for?
It's a hard question. Today, Danny Carey from Tool
Nice.
is a huge inspiration.
They just came out with a new album, too.
They did. It's amazing after all these years. But there's so many, John Bonham, Led Zeppelin, a lot of the old school cats, growing up, like I said, just really inspired me. But I really play the music. I try to take a little bit from each style, each genre that I like, and it doesn't mean it's going to fit everything I do.
Yeah.
But I still like to really put it on and play to it and get inspired. So yeah, Tool would probably be the biggest influence right now as far as being a challenge, being more of a thinking kind of mathematical,
The funny thing is, I thought that y'all sounded kind of like Tool, like almost like a metallic kind of. I don't want to say metallic, but it's like kind of metally. It's kind of like metal sounds.
Well, we have a good mix, I think, of soft and a little harder versions of songs, and we play them differently depending on, the venue or the gig.
Gotcha.
So we have acoustic as well as electric versions of most of the songs. And so I guess it really just depends on us as well and what we're feeling at the moment. We can play them, in your face, or we can kind of step back and let the music, do its job and just let you hear it cleanly. So it really just depends on, I guess, the venue.
What advice would you give, whether a kid, a grown man, it doesn't matter who they are, that wants to play a musical instrument, maybe let's say the drums. They want to play the drums. What advice would you give them about, where do they buy a kit, or what, how do they get started?
Well, I definitely encourage, for sure. I definitely encourage any person to at least give it a shot. I mean, whether it's the xylophone or the organ or any kind of instrument that's gonna get your juices flowing, get you creative, get you in a sense of self. I think that's a good start. I've given lessons before, so I've taught kids and adults alike.
Nice.
And I really enjoy that, to see their faces light up when they get something correct, or when they call me later and say, I remember this what you taught me, this is awesome, I'm still doing this, And so I would say start simple. You don't need to go out and buy the latest, greatest, most expensive set of drums. I've had the drums I'm playing now for almost 20 years.
Nice.
And so that was my first actual kit. So money is not the object, It's about your passion, finding what you enjoy. You might start playing the drums and realize you like guitar more. So, I would say just give yourself the opportunity to be eclectic in your choices and try everything and see what works for you.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Craig. We're about to have a mini concert here in a moment after we interview everyone, but I just want to say thank you so much.
Hope you guys enjoy
my
it.
hand out.
Yep.
Thank you. And we're going to bring in the next guest. So the next guest, woo! Okay, so the next guest is going to be Alan Phillips. He is the bass player of the band. How you doing, brother? Thank you, Alan. Well, Alan, how you doing, Alan? So bass.
Yes, sir.
All right, I think who's next? I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. My friend G always does this. He always says when the bass player comes in, he says, "Oh, who's next?"
Yeah,
just a player. What is that with the people that kind of they don't appreciate the bass as much as they should? What do you think?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of things with the bass player. I mean, like, I just walk in with my bass and my bass amp, and I'm good to go. Notoriously, they're late to practices. I've done that. Let's see, I've done 3 practices with them. I was late for 1, so there you go. There's a good reason. Hard to find, And, just in the background, trying to keep everything straight, with the drummers. So less attention paid to us, for sure. But
I got you.
Yeah.
The one thing I noticed is you're from Johnson City.
Yeah.
There's this place, have you ever heard of the Hill Country Cupboard?
I have. It's fucking. Sorry.
It's okay. You're good. You're good. It's after 10.
Oh yeah.
You're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Great.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's delicious. I grew up eating there for sure.
Yeah, I love that place, and I saw that you were from Johnson City, and I wanted to mention it. Hill Country Cupboard, man.
Yeah.
So where is Hill Country Cupboard in Johnson City? Give so that way people can really figure out about.
So if you're going through Johnson City, through Austin, oh man, it's been so long since I've been there. I'm trying to remember. I think you just end up going straight, and then when you'll reach an intersection, it's going this way, and then there's a road going straight still.
Like one's going to Fredericksburg, and yeah.
Something like that. It's been
I think it's that way, actually.
It's on the corner. It's on the corner of the intersection. It's great. They got paper bags for menus. It's amazing.
So what is their big thing that they sell? Because I know that it's one of my favorite restaurants.
Steak.
Chicken fried steak.
In the morning, biscuits and gravy and grits.
You already know. That's awesome. Yeah, and I love going to that place. We actually did an episode there.
Really?
We went there and filmed there, and
Did
the
you like
owner.
the food?
I love it, man. Every time I come through there, yes, Sandra Trevino, she owns the restaurant. Nice lady, and God, such good food. So I had to bring that up.
Oh yeah.
And anyone says you're going to Johnson City, I'm gonna swing by, Hill Country Cupboard.
Sure.
But I want to get that out of the way, so we'll get back to the bass, man.
Right.
The boom, doom, doom,
Yes,
doom, doom.
yes,
So,
yes.
what got you into the bass,
Well,
or what was your first instrument? Some
bass
people.
was my first instrument for sure.
Nice.
What really got me into it, my dad was in a band growing up, so like I always exposed to that. And at first, I didn't really ever want to play an instrument. I didn't really ever want to play music. But eventually it grew on me and broke me. And the bass had 4 strings, so that was it seemed a little bit easier to do. But as I actually started learning it and picking it up, I really fell in love with it. It was always my favorite sound by far. If I was ever listening to any music that I enjoyed, the bass was always my favorite sound. And
Do you like Bass Nectar?
That sounds familiar.
He does EDM, but he does all it is bass, like 99%.
Oh yeah. EDM, boom and bass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
I'll
man.
try to play to it. You know, I don't know how great that'll go for me, but you know, I'm not a computer, so.
No, it's all good, man. I was gonna say, you brought up your dad's band. You want to mention the band name? Whether they're together or not,
for the
that way.
longest time it was Redneck Jedi. I mean, that'll always be the band.
Redneck Jedi.
Redneck Jedi.
That is so rad.
He said Luke Skywalker was the original Redneck Jedi. He was a farmer who kissed his sister.
That is sick, man. I'm gonna remember that forever.
Yeah.
So, what's the pop's name? You wanna give a shout out
Dennis
to
Phillips.
yeah, 5 over there?
Greatest guitar player ever, for sure.
Okay.
My opinion.
Nice. Give a shout out to him. So, is there anything you would like to say to, inspiring musician who wants to play the bass, really digs, loves hearing that beat?
Yeah.
What would you say to them if they wanted to, get started on the bass?
To play every day, even if you don't want to. Even if you're sick of it, if you're sick of hearing yourself, just keep going, keep playing. Eventually something will click. If you're really passionate about it and you really want to do it, just keep at it. Keep going. Nothing's stopping you. Nothing's standing in your way.
Hell yeah, that's great advice. One other thing. So we got the hill country covered out of the way. We got that out of the way. So what brought you to Austin? What was that kind of thing?
I was born here in Austin.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was born in Austin, moved out to Johnson City at a young age in Henley. And, I was visiting my mother here as growing up as a kid on the weekends and during summers 2 weeks at a time. And I've always loved Austin, always dug Austin. I always told myself, one day I am going to live here in Austin.
Hell yeah, man.
So, very excited to be here.
Nice.
Been out here for about a year now, just like officially moved in.
Well, welcome to Austin, man.
Thank you.
That's freaking cool. It's a pleasure having you. We have another person to interview. I know seems kind of quick, but I appreciate you being here, and we can't wait to hear y'all play. So the next band member we're going to bring out is Marshall Benson. Woo. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, man. Come on in.
Oh, cut off. But that was my solo.
Yeah, that was your solo.
That was my solo, man.
Replay the solo right now.
Oh, I can't hear
I'm
it.
just kidding. It's all good. We're good. So Marshall.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Marshall?
I'm originally from the Bay Area in California.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey. I've been here for 3 years now, though. 3.5 years. Yeah.
And what brought you to Austin? Was it the music as well?
Definitely was the music scene. Yeah, I was just looking for people to play with. Really,
Nice.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And did you do some gigging in California before you made your way over here?
A little bit. I had some friends that I would collaborate with and jam with once in a while, but it is actually really hard to find people to play with in the Bay Area because it's so expensive. And obviously musicians aren't really like the richest people in the world, right?
No.
So, it wasn't that easy to find, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so
here,
when you say expensive, let's kind of like brainstorm on that. Like
Yeah.
How expensive it is to live somewhere like in California.
I mean, if you wanted to live in San Francisco, you're paying at least $3,500 a month.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And
something
I'm complaining
like that.
about the rent in Austin. I'm like, oh my god.
It's not ever gonna get that bad. I don't think so. No. Yeah.
35. Yeah, that's a nice little lick there.
It's nuts. Yeah.
So you play lead guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What got you into the guitar, man?
Definitely Kurt Cobain.
Okay,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Definitely Kurt Cobain. He's not the most technically. Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the most technically proficient guitarist, but his tone and his style really just drew me in. Had this like emotional draw that as a kid, it just really, it spoke to me.
He was really legit. I was watching this documentary, the last interview before he passed away. This lady was asking him, she was like, "What's your favorite book?" And it was like, I can't remember the name of it. Basically, it's about a man who doesn't like humans, and he and it's based on smells.
It's perfume.
Perfume. Thank you. Perfume,
okay.
the book.
It's like a misanthropic,
Yeah.
nihilistic.
So he's like
sort of.
Yeah,
thing,
he's very like, I gotta stay away from society. I need
Yeah.
to, you know,
Right.
be left alone.
Fascinating character, clearly.
Yeah,
Just
and it's
total legend, of course. But as far as his guitar playing, I think there's one solo of his, I think on the song In Bloom, where it's like really noisy. And it's mostly noise, but it has this like harmonic, melodic character to it. And it's similar to how he screams. He has some of the best screams in rock, but it's melodic, and he's screaming notes, and it's that combination of like chaos and abrasiveness with a melodic content. The two together are just unbelievable.
So that was your, I guess your idol. I don't want to say that. But
I would say so, but then I moved on to Joe Satriani.
Oh, nice.
And he's more of an 80s, 90s guy, more of a virtuoso. And that's when I really got serious, is when I was listening to him.
Nice.
A lot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you got into who bought your first guitar?
I want to say it was my grandmother.
What's your grandmother's name?
Donna.
Say hi to Donna over there.
Hey, Grandma. Thanks for the guitar. And it was just a dinky little plastic toy guitar. Wow. And I played it in a really stupid way. I had it on my lap, and I would like put my thumb over the frets and do this kind of thing. And I really thought I was like inventing a new style, a new way of playing guitar.
Dude, you never know.
You never know. I was like, yeah, I'm really going to do it this way. But then, I learned the right way and could, properly play. Eventually, I grew out of that and got a real guitar.
Nice.
And to me, guitars are the coolest thing in the world. They're so cool. So.
Nice, man. So how long have you been with Droplift? You're one of the newer members. How long have you been jamming with them for?
Yeah, I've been jamming with them for a couple years now.
Nice.
Yeah, a couple years. Yeah, nice. Yeah. And that song that you were playing on the intros and stuff, I've produced that as well. So I do the recording and the mixing and.
Sorry, the camera was on you. It makes sense later.
Yeah, mostly I'm there as a guitarist to sort of spice up a lot of Tony's songs and to add a little bit of flavor to it, and just complement it.
Nice. Yeah. And it's really interesting. I know most people, who produce their own stuff, I always like that people that are very self-starters, self-proficient.
Right.
So how did you get into production? Because it's totally different to sit there and jam out, learn how to play the chords and stuff, but to produce it, in the studio and get down and dirty. What's up with that?
Great question. I mean, it's a gradual process. You start real simple with an audio interface with just 1 or 2 channels and a microphone, and you try to get a good sound out of it, but then you have to learn how to mix, right? There's different stages. There's the recording, the mixing, and the production process, and learning how different frequencies work and what a compression does versus EQ, things like that. So I mean, the answer really is gradually. And once you get to a certain level, then you can upgrade your equipment. You can utilize that properly, and you just sort of gradually build your knowledge just by doing it. Nice. You just have to record and mix, and you have to do it.
Just keep doing it.
If you're over academic and you just watch YouTube tutorials and read books, you're never really going to get that good until you just dive in and learn how to use your ears and make those proper mix decisions.
A friend of mine, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really awesome. A friend of mine, Jackie Venson, she was telling me the reason why a lot of artists kind of lose their sound is because they're not in the studio enough. They're not producing their stuff. They're not, really, hitting the wall with their material, and trying to, so they're always in the studio creating something, they have to keep going.
When you record yourself, you're putting yourself under a microscope, and you hear all these mistakes and these things that you can really improve, which if you're just practicing at home, you don't necessarily notice.
Yeah.
But, you're absolutely right. If you really want to improve and get into writing and doing creative things, it's great to have your own recording setup. Instead of having to rely on someone else to, hey, can we record now or whatever, and having just a real simple setup to do that is all you need.
Yeah.
You need a good computer too.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So let's say someone wanted to start fiddling, record whatever instrument.
Right.
What's some of the software you would recommend? I know there's like Pro Tools, Ableton, FL Studios.
Yeah.
What a starter kit for someone who's just getting started with.
A starter, I think Reaper is free.
Reaper.
Yeah,
See?
I think Reaper is free. Yeah, so you could go. I use Ableton Live because I do a little bit of electronic stuff on the side, and it's great for automating stuff, and you can do sort of like DJ stuff with it. So you can also record and do all of that. But for a beginner, I think Reaper is a great start.
Nice.
And if you have an Apple, if you have a MacBook, you can get Logic. GarageBand is free if you have an Apple device. So
nice.
It's a great way to get your feet wet, I think.
Just get your feet wet, work your way to Ableton kind of thing.
Sure, you can. But I mean, this question comes up all the time on forums. It's like, well, what should I use?
Exactly. It's like a long, they're debating for hours.
The best answer always is whatever you know, whatever you're best at. But as a pure beginner, you don't know that yet. So, playing around with those free ones makes a lot of sense.
And I agree with that a lot because I usually work from behind the camera, and there's a lot of different editing softwares for like video. And so the new thing is Davinci Resolve. It's always been a coloring software, but a few years back they released a free editing software which is way better than the competition. Premiere, Adobe, and then there's Admin.
Premiere's expensive.
Premiere, you got to pay every month. Well, Davinci is just one $300 chuck, and you're not paying that, monthly fee.
Some people like that better. Yeah.
That's weird, man.
And there's no rule against using multiple different softwares.
Exactly.
I mean, you can, if you like to record in one and then mix in the other one. Do it.
Exactly.
No one's stopping you. You don't have to stick. You don't have to be loyal to one piece of software. Who cares? As long as it sounds good, right? As long as the product's good, it's fine. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. The lead guitar.
Yeah.
So, let's say there's a kid out there who really wants to play guitar, and they need advice from someone who's, been in the ropes for a minute.
Love this question already.
So, what advice would you give them? Go ahead and look into Camera 5.
Okay, Camera 5.
And just let them know,
So I've taught a little bit of guitar, and I would say, if you're first starting out, the most important thing is to find a teacher who will teach you what you want to learn. Okay? There's an idea out there that you have to get an acoustic guitar first and play that before you go to electric. Wrong. If you want to go play electric, start with an electric guitar and play that. If you want to play rock music, start with rock music. If you want to play jazz, start with jazz. There's no sense, in my mind, to use this as a stepping stone. Just play what you want to play and find a teacher that will encourage that. Because the quickest thing that kills students' drive is like having to learn things that they don't care about or don't want to play. So I think that's totally wrong to have to do that. You should be getting joy out of it basically from day one, and to keep up that feeling, that passion. Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So thank you so much, Marshall. I appreciate you coming here. I can't wait to hear y'all play. I'm actually looking forward to hearing y'all jam.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
We have one more guest that's coming out, the lead singer of the band, Mr. Tony Zamora. Let's welcome. Woo! Nice, man. So Tony is in the building.
Tyrone.
Tony. Okay. So it's good. It's been a couple years. It's pretty weird, isn't it?
It has.
You got a new single out too.
Yes. Change and Friend is out on all the streaming platforms: iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube. It's out there, so you guys check it out, please.
Heck yeah. So the one thing I was going to say to you is, what is the armpit of Texas?
Armpit of Texas?
Yeah.
Huh, that's a good
where does that come from?
So that comes from where I was born, Del Rio, Texas.
D-Rock?
D-Rock, Texas. And the reason I call it the armpit of Texas because if you see the shape of the state, it's like the arm is like El Paso, right? And it goes under. So if you look at the shape, it's the armpit. It goes right under there. So yeah.
It's somewhere down here, right there.
Yes, yes.
There's the armpit.
But that's why they call it the armpit of Texas. That's what I call it, but yeah.
I got you. So I just want to get the armpit in there.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
So you picked up the guitar when you were like a teenager.
Yeah.
And you actually have an uncle that used to play in mariachi bands with.
Mariachi bands, yeah. He taught me everything. So I had 3 uncles, Arturo, Albino, and Pipe, and they taught me. I saw them play all the time at my house. Play with my mom. My mom sings, so like they'll come over, have family events, and just like barbecues and just
jam out.
Just jam out, and it's just a special moment for me when I was a kid, and that's what influenced me. I learned all Spanish notes, which was really weird.
Nice.
So I was like advanced when I was just like talking.
And you didn't even know. You're just like,
I didn't
this
know.
is how I
it was
learned.
just like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, and it just kept on going. But it was like a D, F, G in English, but I was taught in Spanish, so it was kind of weird, trying to transition and just play English. But it was awesome though. They taught me a lot, and God, rest his soul. He passed away, my uncle Arturo, but I still got one kicking, Pipe, and he's still playing now.
All right. Well,
he's 80 years old.
Arturo,
and Pipe.
Turo, and
Arturo,
Pipe. Okay,
yeah.
let's do it.
Just that.
That's a really big glass. I know, man. I'm not used to it. I think G's, he got the grip on it. I got to get used to that. Hi, G, if you're out there. Everyone wave at G.
Get well, G. We miss you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Tony, we do miss you, G. We hope you do get better, and we'll see you soon, brother. But the one thing I wanted to get back on was, I'm not trying to offend you or anything, but I really...
No, I'm offended.
No. No, there's a band that kind of makes me see the same, pretty similar vocals.
It's the same name too?
No, not the same name. Not the same name.
That was copyrighted.
But is the band's Creed?
Creed?
I'm not trying to hate on it. I'm not saying that you're saying... You know that song? You just have this way.
Can you take me high? That one? No.
No, you just have this way. You're in the throat, man. Like you get there. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like that. I'm not saying you're Creed whatsoever. I'm not trying to hate on it.
I'm not a fan of Creed, but I see where you're coming from.
Where the vocals?
I'm a big fan of Bush. This is a '90s band, and Gavin Rossdale. He's like I look up to what he played, and I've seen his live shows. Just a magnificent performer. But I go through a lot of styles, but I can see where you're coming from on that. But
I'm not saying like everything is behind him. I'm just saying.
Creed is not a bad band. It's not a bad band. They actually have some hits, and I'm not offended.
But Droplift. Let's put Droplift.
It's Droplift. Droplift. Yeah.
Droplift.
So
it's kind of cool because it's a very ironic that the band name is Droplift. We'll ask where we got that came from, but. Because kind of like right now, G not being here, it's kind of like a drop.
Yeah.
And then now we're doing the show, and there's the lift, man. There's the lift.
I think that's the analogy behind it.
But where did the name come from?
Well, it came from a couple of band members just getting together. And it's been a lot of hiccups, obviously. It's a different bass player we're performing with. But regardless, when we started, we had names. Just Droplift it felt right from all the other names. And I don't want to go through all the names.
Yeah, we don't have to go through those names.
But it means something. If you look in the dictionary, it's like what is Droplift? And it's like the opposite of shoplift. So actually, like you're dropping a merchandise at a store instead of like taking it. So it's actually a thing if you look it up.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So
you're dropping it back off. I ain't gonna take it, I promise.
But it's not from the company. It's actually like from your like personal property and putting it in like an album, like your album, and going to like a high-end store and just putting it there, displaying it.
Oh, nice.
So you're dropping the item.
And then it'll lift you later.
And it'll lift them later.
Well, okay, we'll talk about that later. But Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's so great to have you back. It's been 2 years. I was watching the video the other day that we did a while back, and I was like, man, we've come a long way. And so have you, man.
Yeah,
The new song, it's well produced. Marshall and it hard on that production. And,
especially that lead. I mean, Marshall. I mean, everybody's coming from California for some reason. I'm like,
I know Marla out here. Marla,
Right?
Shout out to Marla. Come on, you guys say something.
there you are.
Get the camera on Marla.
Yeah, no, don't put the camera on Marla.
But-
She's hanging out.
but
She's
yeah.
hanging out. But we could put it on her if she wanted to. I'm just kidding. But we're good. Yeah, Valley. Ole Valley. And then the Valley del Rio. See right
No, it's
there?
not a valley.
It's not a valley.
It's
See?
not the Alps. So, like, okay, now you got to look at. From
So it's
this
not
guy
our-
from Cali. So, if you look at this, so the valley is Brownsville. It's going south.
So not
right?
RGB?
So-
It's not RGB?
So it's not down there,
Okay.
right? You're not talking about South P, the valley going down.
Okay.
It's actually going up. So, I guess Texas is pretty big. So I
Yeah,
guess you
I
gotta
got
like
you.
know. Yeah, you gotta know the.
I always
the
just
state.
think like the southern tip valley, man. I don't know. I have a friend
if
from
people
Harlingen.
get mixed up,
you
so
know.
it's like.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
good.
worry about it. We'll just armpit
not
of
getting offended in
Texas.
that, yeah.
Leave D-Rock as armpit of Texas. But yeah, Tony.
It's a beautiful city too.
So
Represent Del Rio.
what was the inspiration for the new songs that are coming out?
So there's a lot of well, the inspiration comes from a lot of chapters in my life. It just depends on
And
what's
there's
going on.
A new thing that's coming up. You
Yes,
got a baby on the way.
Yes, baby on the way. July 29th.
It's coming.
Expecting. Yeah.
See, it's coming.
It's a boy. So.
Woo!
Yes. Yeah.
He dodged the bullet there.
Dodged the bullet there, man. But yeah, with my beautiful wife, it's an amazing feeling, and I'm starting to write happier music because before it was just like, prior to marriage or being in a relationship, it was the music I was writing was kind of depressing in a way, but it was in your face.
Yeah, Tonight is a great single, man.
Yeah, Tonight, and that was one of my chapters of my life where I met, my love, now my wife. So it was a big.
Well, shout out to the wife. Let's say the wife's name. We got to
yeah.
get the wife's name in there. Get it in there.
I forgot. No, I was just joking. Krista Zamora. Yeah.
All right,
See,
sorry.
that's my
I
last
laughed
name.
over. I cackled over it. Say it one more time.
Krista Zamora. Yeah.
Okay.
What camera are we at?
Yeah, you're right there, brother.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah. Hopefully she's watching. I think she is. Yeah.
So, a lot of musicians go through this where, you have to have time with the family, and there's like this balance between, creating the art you love and loving the person you love.
Yeah.
What is
Well.
What's that balance? How do you get there,
it's
man?
a difficult balance. Of course, I always say family first, but when you're with a band, it becomes your family.
Yeah.
And I think just balancing it out where great musicians, we don't need to really practice that much.
Yeah.
Like Marshall, Craig, and Alan, they'll come in and just play and not really need that much practice. So those are kind of the musicians you want around to lift you up and to get stuff done, right? So that's hence Droplift.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Yeah, you have to. But on a real note, they're great musicians, and that's what balances it out. It's we make time out of it. We don't lose any time out of it. So we just create music and go forward. We don't delay or step back.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And congrats on the new baby boy coming around the corner.
It's coming.
Just keep jamming, man. Keep jamming. I really dig your music, and you have your own, I want to like your own voice, but your own style. Y'all are really good, and I'm really glad to have y'all here. And
it means a lot, Tony.
No worries, no worries, Tony. I appreciate it, and here momentarily in about, I guess, 4.5 minutes, we're gonna have a little mini concert with Droplift.
Yes.
So everyone, I want y'all to stay tuned. So this is probably the moment where you want to, take a sip, a rip, or a puff. But before we go to the clip, I want to say if we get off the air on television, you can stream our show through Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And all you have to do is just Google The Big Daddy G Show, and you'll be able to stream it from there when we get off the air on cable. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. And in about minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, 4:20. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. We'll have them performing a great set. So I'll see y'all. Roll the clip, Rob. Thank y'all. All right, guys, let's play. So it's going to be quick.
Hi-ho, what do you know? The Big Daddy G Show. The Big Daddy G Show. The Big Daddy G Show.
Here's yo daddy.
That's it. You've seen it. You've seen the magic. You've seen the people, and you've seen the dog himself. Let's see, just Tyrone. After the show, what are your after the show thoughts, man?
We were just live. Adrenaline.
As a director, what were your high and lows? Right?
My high and lows. My high was probably the dog coming in, you know, the nice ending.
Right.
My low was probably me messing up with the green screen, but that happens. It's live television.
Take it easy, Mr. Director. Thank you for everything. And
Bye. I'm going.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
If you're in Austin, Texas, and you're doing film, you need to know about this place. This is a gem. If you're about it, and man, they have the classes for you to, if you don't want to go to film school and you just want to learn piece by piece by piece, you could come here, man, and really spread your wings, because I've become a better filmmaker just from being here, you know? And it's fun. It's my playground, man.
What would you say to somebody that's sitting out there watching this right now and is thinking about doing the show on public access, but just hasn't gotten off the couch to do it? What would you say to them to encourage them to come down here?
Oh, man. It's like I have so many thoughts on this. I'm trying to condense it down to one brilliant line that you can like put on a poster or something like that.
Why not?
Why not?
You just have to do it. Everybody has an audience.
The first step is just showing up, and then learning. And then once you get started, continue to do it, because consistency and discipline equals success. There's no skipping steps. You know, you can have your dreams and everything going on in your head, but if you're not actively making moves to do it, then they're just going to be dreams.
Everybody thinks you need all this stuff before you can actually do something, and here you just it works. You come in and all the resources are here, and it's so easy.
I have a master's in filmmaking. I spent 3 years at UT studying filmmaking, and I mean, that was great, but there were so many aspects of filmmaking and a lot of DIY filmmaking and broadcast specifically that I really learned here.
When I first came here, I could not believe it was not a line out the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are people not tapping into this resource? I mean, it is very valuable. Just like here tonight, you know, we've learned something tonight already. You know, by looking at the multicam, you know, all the different things. We have an equipment room, and it inspired you to want to go and create something new.
You have to take that step and just believe in yourself enough to know that there'll be enough resources and people around to help you. And just get out there and do it. It's a lot. Like, I've had people who come in and are so nervous, but then watching them watch their final product is a complete joy.
There's something that you're fascinated by. There's something that makes you tick and is unique. There's no way why you can't use this as a lens to kind of explore that, whether it be Dungeons and Dragons or football or music. It doesn't matter. There's something about you that, you know, you can explore community.
You have to be able to fail in order to get better. You know, there's no possible way unless you try and do something that you can be able to learn from it. That's all it is they give you a space to fail. I know it sounds terrible, but I mean, like, you have an opportunity to create. Go create.
Here's your daddy.
That's it. You've seen it. You've seen the magic. You've seen the people, and you've seen the dog himself. Let's see, just Tyrone. After the show, what are your after the show thoughts, man?
We were just live.
Yeah.
Adrenaline.
As a director, what were your high and lows? Right?
My high and lows. My high was probably the dog coming in, you know, the nice ending.
Right.
My low was probably me messing up with the green screen, but that happens. It's live television.
Take it easy, Mr. Director. Thank you for everything. And
Bye. I'm going. I must go.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
If you're in Austin, Texas, and you're doing film, you need to know about this place. This is a gym. If you're about it, and man, they have the classes for you to, if you don't want to go to film school and you just want to learn piece by piece by piece, you could come here, man, and really spread your wings, because I've become a better filmmaker just from being here, you know? And it's fun. It's my playground, man.
What would you say to somebody that's sitting out there watching this right now and is thinking about doing a show on public access, but just hasn't gotten off the couch to do it? What would you say to them to encourage them to come down here?
Oh, man. It's like I have so many thoughts on this. I'm trying to condense it down to one brilliant line that you can like put on a poster or something like that.
Why not?
Why not?
You just have to do it.
Everybody has an audience.
The first step is just showing up, and then learning. And then once you get started, continue to do it, because consistency and discipline equals success. There's no skipping steps. You know, you can have your dreams and everything going on in your head, but if you're not actively making moves to do it, then they're just going to be dreams.
Everybody thinks you need all this stuff before you can actually do something, and here you just it works. You come in and all the resources are here, and it's so easy.
I have a master's in filmmaking. I spent 3 years at UT studying filmmaking, and I mean, that was great, but there were so many aspects of filmmaking and a lot of DIY filmmaking and broadcast specifically that I really learned here.
When I first came here, I could not believe it was not a line out the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are people not tapping into this resource? I mean, it is very valuable. Just like here tonight, you know, we've learned something tonight already. You know, by looking at the multicam, you know, all the different things. We have an equipment room, and it inspired you to want to go and create something new.
You have to take that step and just believe in yourself enough to know that there'll be enough resources and people around to help you. And just get out there and do it. It's a lot. Like, I've had people who come in and are so nervous, but then watching them watch their final product is a complete joy.
There's something that you're fascinated by. There's something that makes you tick and is unique. There's no way why you can't use this as a lens to kind of explore that, whether it be Dungeons and Dragons or football or music. It doesn't matter. There's something about you that, you know, you can explore with this and that will actually build your community.
You have to be able to fail in order to get better. You know, there's no possible way unless you try and do something that you can be able to learn from it. That's all it is they give you a space to fail. I know it sounds terrible, but I mean, like, you have an opportunity to create. Go create. All right, so we are back with the band Droplift. You can check them out at dropliftband.com. Is that right, brother?
That is correct.
And they're going to perform a little mini concert for us. And y'all enjoy the show. And thank you. Jam out, brothers.
Let's go back to the place we used to be before my drinking got the best of me. I never felt your love fade so easily.
Ooh, thanks, guys. This next one's called Friend. We always need one.
Touch of your hand keeps me sane. The lights go out in the pouring rain. I hold you tight, try to find our way. The candles we light brings peace to the room. No one in sight, just me and you. All we hear is the rain streaming. Your eyes shine in the light, pulls me in, just like the wind blows me away. The lightning strikes, it's a shocking wave. You grab my arm and you looked afraid. I whispered in your ear, we will be okay. Red wine in your glass, you sip it down like it's your last. We both reminisce, so true. Your eyes shine in the light, it pulls me in, just like the wind. Don't let time fly by. We'll be alright tonight, free from sin. Love you till the end, my friend, my sun comes up, warms up my face. You stared at me, never looked away. All these years you have never changed. All right, let's pick it up a little bit. Feel that? Come on.
Thanks, yeah. We're recording that one. It'll be out soon. This one's out in streaming platforms. It's called Blurred. Come on in. I see you 1,000 miles away, sinking in all the roads I'm about to take. The night's young as I bite your lips, inviting me in. I just cannot resist, and I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. When your eyes wanders through the night, it keeps away from everyone in sight. You see me, and I see you. You're under my skin, I can't get enough of you. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I know we're real. And I'll say to you, I know we're real. And I know we're real. I know the rails, I know the rail, and I know the rails, I know the rail, and I know the rail, I know the rail, I know the rail, I know the rail, and I'll say to you, and I know the rail, I know the rail, and I'll say to you, I know the rail. Thank you. Dropliftband.com. Thank you so much.
All right. Coming. Don't stop there. All right. So we're here with Droplift, Tony, my homeboy Marshall, Alan, and Craig in the back. I'll shake your hand. Thank y'all so much for coming. I just wanted to talk to you real quick. Where are you playing next, and how do they get a hold of your music?
Yeah, so we'll be playing at the Thicket off of 1st Street South. It's a really great place, kid-friendly. We'll be playing there this Saturday. You can check out our music at dropliftband.com. Also, check Facebook and Instagram. We're there as well. And just check us out, like our page, and follow us, and you'll see the future events coming up. So
dropliftband.com. Thank y'all so much for coming, and keep playing, guys. Y'all are awesome. No worries. Good night, y'all. Peace out. Thank y'all so much.